Let's start with an axiom that everyone can agree with. Coronary heart disease is a dreadful disease that we should try to avoid. So what are the risk factors for coronary heart disease so we can avoid it? Well, it's those four mentioned in the beginning of the podcast: high LDL cholesterol levels, high blood pressure, physical inactivity, and smoking. When I hear those risk factors, I think to myself, what are the low-hanging fruit in terms of lifestyle changes I can make that will have an impact and reduce those risk factors? The easy and obvious answer for me is to increase physical activity. Increased activity obviously takes care of inactivity, but also being more physically active disincentivizes smoking, and it can help reduce blood pressure. Physical activity won't have an impact on LDL cholesterol levels, but it does reduce triglycerides and increases HDL cholesterol. Well, that's great because we just read a whole paper about how low triglycerides and high HDL cholesterol are associated with a significantly reduced risk of coronary heart disease. We also learned that the opposite lipid profile of high triglycerides and low HDL cholesterol is the characteristic lipid profile of someone with metabolic syndrome, and it's the strongest risk factor for coronary heart disease, even stronger than high LDL cholesterol, the traditional heart disease risk factor. Remember, the major finding from the study was that people with high LDL cholesterol, which in theory should be high risk, who also had low triglycerides and high HDL cholesterol levels, had a significantly reduced risk of coronary heart disease than those with high triglycerides and low HDL cholesterol, but low LDL cholesterol, which should be low risk in theory. Furthermore, the people with high LDL cholesterol, even when compared to the low LDL cholesterol group with similar lipid markers of low triglycerides and high HDL cholesterol, were at no greater risk of coronary heart disease, which really goes to show that LDL cholesterol alone is not a good predictor of risk of heart disease. Therefore, if you get a lipid panel that says you have high LDL cholesterol, that doesn't mean you're going to develop atherosclerosis and get a heart attack tomorrow. It also doesn't mean you should avoid saturated fat, which increases LDL cholesterol levels. Thanks for checking out that video. I hope you liked it. Here are a couple more for you to check out. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel.